Hi guys, it's Yaella here and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, go ahead and check out the introductory video, and if you like what you see there, hit that subscribe button. I'm thankful to get to do another video for you guys, so without further ado, let's get right into it. As you can tell by the title, today we will be discussing the superfood sea moss or Irish sea moss. Just a quick side note, the terms sea moss and specifically the classification of Irish sea moss may not always mean the same thing in certain cases, but for the purposes of this video, they will mean the same thing. So just wanted to throw that out there. I came to know about sea moss through Dr. Sebi and his teachings and his research, including his alkaline dietary guide. Now I personally don't follow his guide, but I have noticed a big difference by switching to a more plant-based diet. For those of you out there who may follow his alkaline diet, I commend you, because it can be quite a challenge sticking to his list of recommended foods that he has, and sea moss is one of them. I've been seeing a lot more people talk more and more about sea moss and its benefits, so my husband and I started to do more research and we wanted to get some and try it for ourselves. And I can definitely say that I have seen a significant change in my acne clearing up as far as my skin goes. I've lost some weight. I feel lighter and not as clogged up as I did before. I feel very balanced. It's a great feeling. And I noticed that my energy has increased. Just a quick disclaimer, my results in particular may not just be due to me consuming sea moss or adding it to my diet, but it may also be due to my change in my eating habits, eating a more plant-based diet, and getting adequate amount of sleep, drinking lots of water, and exercising. So don't just depend only on the sea moss, but it can definitely help you in providing those nutrients and extra minerals that you are missing in your regular diet that you eat. Now there are various types of sea moss, and they're usually found in the Caribbean islands. The Jamaican purple sea moss is a highly recommended sea moss by Dr. Sebi, and I know there's other sea mosses out there like the golden sea moss, and there's like a reddish brown sea moss out there that is also good. Just a warning, you do want to make sure that you do your adequate research on where the sea moss is coming from and how it is farmed. Whether it's wildcrafted or pool farmed, you do want to make that that research and find out how these companies and these sea moss farmers are getting their sea moss, just to make sure that you are getting the real deal and not these manufactured or fake sea mosses, because that also has an effect on how it's going to treat your body and ultimately heal you. In normal conditions of sea moss farming, you will have a range of color variation from light to dark, and that's a big giveaway of how you can tell whether or not your sea moss is fake. If you see just a different range of colors, because in nature you will see various colors on plants, and if you don't, that may, tell you something. Some other signs of how you can tell whether or not your sea moss is fake or not are the salt crystals that form on the surface of the sea moss. If your sea moss has salt crystals that are very fine, like sand, and very soft to the touch, then that is a more natural sea moss versus the sea moss that has granules on the top of the sea moss that are similar to table salt or rock salt, the bigger size granules. Then that may be a manufactured or fake sea moss. You can also tell whether or not you have real sea moss by the shape and the thickness of the stems. Most sea mosses, not all, but most have stems that are long, skinny, and kind of loose. If they're super firm or thick, then it may not be the real deal. So just make sure you do your adequate research before you purchase any sea moss, because you want to make sure you get the real deal. This ensures that you will get the maximum benefit that sea mosses have, which they have 92 out of 102 minerals that the human body is composed of. They help increase your mood, they help boost your energy. Sea moss reduces inflammation, it helps with skin issues such as acne, eczema, burns, rashes, and other skin ailments. It boosts your immune system, it cleanses your digestive system, it boosts your mental health and your mental capacity, and it strengthens and builds your muscles, your bones, and your joints. So, and plus many more benefits that I can't even name. But sea moss is very beneficial, and if you haven't tried it, you should definitely look into possibly trying it as, you know, a vitamin or, you know, an additional supplement to your already good diet. Irish sea moss can be turned into a gel, or it can be eaten raw in its raw form. However, I haven't seen too much of that. I've seen it more in the gel form, and you can add it to smoothies, oatmeals, soups and stews, sauces or gravies. It's a easy, quick thing you can just throw into something, and you will barely taste it, honestly. It also makes for a great face mask, giving you a youthful glow because it's a natural form of collagen. For my new and expecting mamas out there, it is safe for you to consume while you're breastfeeding or pregnant, as far as I know, just as long as it's the natural kind and not the manufactured kind that is floating around out there. But you always want to check with your midwife or your doctor before you make any dietary changes or add any nutritional supplements to your diet, as I am not a medical professional. But as far as my research has gone, it seems to be okay for you to consume. Now that you know more about this superfood, let's get into the next part of my video where I show you how I make my sea moss gel. These are the materials you are going to need to make your sea moss gel. You will need a plate or a deep dish, and of course your sea moss. I got mine at a global food market that's close to me. Some spring water, some limes. You can use one if you like, but I use two. And a knife. You will also need a blender later on to blend your sea moss gel. Now I just want to show you what my sea moss looks like. You may not be able to tell by camera, but there is slight color change in my sea moss. Now this container is about 0.5 ounces of sea moss, so you don't even need that much to make the gel, but depending on how much you want to make is up to you. Now I'm just showing you some parts of my sea moss, and as you can see here, there's like some debris here. You want to pre-sift and go through your sea moss just to remove any dirt, debris, and gunk that you find on your sea moss. Now I'm just showing you the salt granules. You see how fine it is, like sand? That's what I was saying earlier in the video. Now I split my sea moss in half so it looks like a small amount, and that's because you don't need that much. Now you want to start washing your sea moss and just making sure you get all of that stuff off of there that's unwanted, and you want to make sure it's really clean before you go to the next steps. Now for this part, if you want to use a strainer, feel free to do so. I totally forgot about my strainer during this part, so I didn't use mine, but it may be best to use it so you don't lose any sea moss down the drain. Don't worry guys, I wash my sink. Okay, and now that you're done washing it, this is what it looks like. Look at that beautiful golden color. Now you just want to plate your sea moss. Forgive me for adjusting the camera, guys. I just want to make sure I get the best angles. Now you want to take your 2 limes, and what I like to do is roll the limes on like a hard surface. This kind of loosens up the flesh of the lime inside and gives you more juice when you squeeze it. And like I said before, you can use 1 lime if you'd like, but I like using 2 limes. The limes actually alkalize and clean the sea moss, and it also takes away the odor of the sea moss. Now you want to take your water and pour it over your sea moss. I'm just showing you guys that I covered the sea moss completely with water. You want to make sure that your sea moss is completely submerged under water because it's going to expand when you sit it overnight. Now you just want to take your limes and squeeze the lime juice out of it, and when you're done you want to put the limes in the water with the sea moss. Now you're good to go, and you don't need a cover over the top of it. It's good to sit overnight. You can soak it overnight, or you can soak it for 8 to 10 hours. And this is what it looks like the next morning. As you can see, it is expanded and it is way lighter in color than it was before. Now you want to take your strainer. This I got at Dollar Tree. It's a fairly good strainer. I mean, it's cheap, but it gets the job done. You want to get a strainer with the smaller holes because you don't want to lose any strands of sea moss. Take your sea moss and do a light rinse. If you want, you can skip this step, but I usually like to do this just to make sure I get everything off that is unneeded. Now you want to take your blender and put your sea moss inside of it. And now you want to add some water. Now the trick with the water is you want to start off with a smaller amount just because you can't subtract the water once you add it. The more water you add, the more liquidy it's going to be, and the less you add, it's going to be thicker. Now it's not all the way blended, but I'm just showing you guys the consistency. Now this is a thicker consistency and I don't like this, so I'm going to add just a bit more water. Now that it's done blending, I want to show you guys the consistency that I like, and this is perfect. This is more or less 8 ounces of sea moss gel, and it usually lasts me about 2 weeks, and then I make more. This is the final product of my sea moss gel. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you.